Hey everybody, I'm here today to share with you my project for the Iamroses design team this month, and I've created another book stack, except I did this one a little bit differently. It doesn't have drawers in the front, it just has little like cubby holes, and I didn't create them out of chipboard. I actually cheated and went and bought the paper mache books that you can get at Michael's. So the bottom two are the paper mache books, and then the top one I actually made out of a paper mache box. So I'll kind of give you more details as I go around, but I'm really happy with this one and how it came out. And I did use the Prima romance novel paper. I'm absolutely in love with this. It's kind of like a love book, romance novel obviously kind of deal. So it's all love themed, and I'm really happy with it. I used a lot of laces and trims and beautiful Iamroses flowers, and I am going to be listing this on my Etsy for sale. So I'll put the link to my Etsy down below if anybody's interested. You can go over and take a look. But yeah, so I guess I'll give you a quick overview. This is the back of it, which is actually the front. It's like the back of the books, just like my other one was. And then as you go all the way around, using these paper mache books really made it much more sturdy. That shadow's kind of shining. Hopefully I could just zoom in and show you. But it made it much more sturdy using it this way, and I'm really happy with how that came out. I used book paper on the sides of this, and I distressed them all up with vintage photo and black soot both. So that's on the sides, and then also on the front of them as well. And then on the other side, so I used book paper. And then as you'll see, I made little cubby holes this time. So instead of like a drawer coming out, I actually just made it to where it's like a little door here. You can see inside of there, it's all gessoed and nice and whitewashed and finished off. So it's just a little cubby hole. You can store stuff in there. So that's that one. The bottom one, I'll show you that last, what it does. And then the top one actually opens upward like that. And it's all gessoed in there as well, nice and finished off. So it's just like you can store things, pictures, you know, love letters, whatever it is that you want to store, and they just close back perfectly. So that's the front of them. And then here is the other side. Did the same thing with the book paper. I used this really big burlap ribbon that I had to tie it off. I just thought it looked perfect with the paper line and everything, and I just kind of distressed it with black soot. And it's wired, so you can shape it any way you want. It'll hold its form, which I really like that about it too. So, and I just cut little triangles out of the bottom just to kind of finish it off. So that is the front of it and how it opens up. And then as you'll see the top of this book, I used this sheet of paper, which I thought was just perfect. It's got like the little postcards and the roses and everything on it. So I used that, and I did line every side. So like on the lip of the books, you know, it's all covered with the matching paper from the book itself. So and then I put this pink, really pretty, like rosette type ruffly trim up here on the top of it as well, and just tied this into a bow, and I attached this little key here with a garment pin, and I put that right there. It just kind of dangles. And then you can untie this, and I'll show you that last, what that does when you untie it, but it's not glued down or anything, it's just tied on there. So here's the front of it, y'all, or really the back, but it's the front for me. And I just created the spine of the books with more of the cardstock and just kind of cut it into little strips and created like the curvature for the top one, because this top one was actually a box, and then I just added more chipboard on top to make it, you know, in the shape of a book, because I like the top stack to be a little smaller. So on the top one for the spine of the book, I used the ABC type paper from the romance novel line, because I thought it was just suiting for books. I put this white lace along the side of it there for the spine, and then this Rena Baleen right there as well. And then on this one, I used this paper for the spine. You can see that paper's on the book itself. And I used this really pretty black lace from the Piece by Piece. And did it over here and over here as well. Most of it got covered up over there though. And then on the bottom, I used the bigger set of the ABC type paper from the collection. And I used this like cross-stitched trim. Let me see if I can find it. A lot of it got covered up. Here it is. I use this trim right here, and then I put ruler on both sides of it to kind of go with the book theme. So I did that, and then you'll see randomly I've got like it's kind of like cheesecloth, but it's black. I'll have that coming out randomly everywhere. Right here's the title, and it's romance novel. I just cut this from the actual paper pad, like the front cover. So I just kind of ruffled that one up, and then put the novel in the Tim Holtz book plate, and just attached some chain dangling down. So that's that part of it. And then I have tons and tons and tons of Iamroses flowers. Let me see if I can get my lighting to be a little better, y'all. I apologize. I fussy cut these from the paper line. I've got more of that cheesecloth type spray coming out. I made this little clothespin myself, kind of like the Prima ones. I just covered it in paper and then went over it with some texture paste in different areas, and it's not glued or anything. It's actually just clipped there. I've got one of the R21 flowers right here, and it actually comes in the pink tones like these, but I painted it with my acrylic paint blue because I wanted it to be blue. This is one of the daisies from Iamroses, and it is D1 as the code on the website, so you guys can go check it out. I'll put a link to my blog down below, and I'll have all the products listed there, so you guys can go to Iamroses and check it out. There's a little baby cameo back there. You can just barely see it, but it's got a butterfly on it. And then there's another Iamroses flower tucked in back there. It's one of the mini black roses, and it's an R2. Right here I have one of the R40s in the pink tone. It's like pink and cream, really, really pretty. It's one of my favorite flowers from Iamroses. So I've got that one there. I've got a little piece of a daisy poking out here. You can just barely see it. I've got one of the R77 big white flowers right here. Super, super pretty. These are absolutely gorgeous. Over here I've got a little piece from the paper line, fussy cut out. It's a little postcard, and I put some pin nibs, antique pin nibs. These aren't the Tim Holtz ones, these are actually real pin nibs, and I put those coming out right there because I just thought it was suiting for writing a novel. I put this one here that says Destiny. It's a Tim Holtz Muse token, and I put that there for love, you know, destiny. So let me clip that back on there, and like I said, you can see this cheesecloth stuff coming out randomly everywhere just to give it more texture. I put these Scrabble tiles here to spell love, and I just went over the edges with them with gesso to kind of shab them up a little bit and give them more dimension. And you can see more of the cheesecloth type material here. I fussy cut the typewriter out of the paper line. Try to stick with like a writing theme on here, a love and writing theme. So I put that there and kind of propped it up. So it's adhered there. Up here I have another one of the R40s, and this was actually this color, and I glimmer misted it with black magic, and then I went over the edges with gesso just to kind of give it a more shabby look, but super grungy. I really like it. Another one of the daisies poking out over here, and then I have one of the R3 flowers up here, and I just went over it with gesso. And then another little baby rose, which is an R2, and I just kind of spread it apart. I painted it with blue paint, just kind of spread it apart because I wanted the center part to be kind of separated. So I did that. This is one of the Prima resin pieces, the little angel, and I just kind of went over her with some gesso to give it a little more texture, a little more shabby look, and I attached this little crown to her head. She's a little princess, and I've got more of the black fibery type stuff coming out from that side as well. You can see the daisies adhered right there to the back side of it. So that is pretty much it, y'all. That's the bulk of it, the centerpiece anyway, basically. The focal point, I guess I should say. Hopefully you can see the pictures at the beginning to get, you know, some more details. But so that's basically it. I'll give you an overview again really quick. So this is the, what would be your front part, but it's really the back. And just goes all the way around. And then I told you the bottom part is different. What you do is you can untie the ribbon here. I attached this to here, so when you untie it, you don't have to worry about it coming off or anything. So put that there. You just untie the ribbon, and then you got just your book boxes here. And then this bottom one, I left the book part open. So it actually opens up, and you can store something in there, and I just sewed it all inside of there. So that's the bottom, so you can put, you know, I was thinking a little mini album or something, you know, but I couldn't have it opening the right way because all this stuff is adhered down on top of it. But it does open on the bottom, so if you decided to, you could store something in there. If not, you can just leave it tied up the way it was. But that is my stacked books, and like I said, check out my blog below for more detailed pictures and all the product links, so you can go to Iamroses and check it out, and I hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching. Bye.